Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mad. Thank you for stopping by, hanging out with me today. Watch me spew a bunch of BS, and I hope you like it. Hang out, like and subscribe. So summer is slowly ending. You can feel it. Not in the weather, certainly not in your balls. The weather's still on meth, of course. You can feel it because the vibes are changing. The grocery store has Halloween candy out. Target has pumpkins. Don't you love that? Stores put out holiday garbage months ahead of time. I don't know why it gets to me, but you know, they've been doing it a long time now, but it's just kills me. Every parent has the facial expression of a soldier with a 1,000-yard stare. Kids are going back to school being babysat by underpaid activists. And your electric bill has arrived looming over you like a predator licking his chops, just chomping at the bit. That's how you know summer's almost over. It's not the leaves, it's not football, not pumpkin spice lattes. The first sign of fall's imminent arrival in America is opening your electric bill and saying, "Did I accidentally cool a goddamn football stadium?" Because the bill doesn't look like you used air conditioning. It looks like you personally fought the sun in court and lost. Every August, the electric bill shows up like, "Hey, buddy, remember comfort?" That's adorable. You try to understand it. You open the envelope. You log into the app. You say, maybe there's a mistake. There's no mistake. The mistake was believing your family deserved a livable indoor temperature. And the electrical company always breaks the bill into charges that sound fake. Energy charge? Fine. Okay. Delivery charge? Okay, apparently electricity gets DoorDash now. Transmission adjustment? What is this, a friggin' Honda Civic? Grid recovery fee. Recovery from what? Did the grid go through a breakup? Are they having a tough time? Storm hardening fee. That sounds like a supplement sold on a podcast. Peak demand surcharge. That one's one of my favorites because it basically means you used electricity when everyone else was, you selfish little shit. That's the whole business. They sell you power. Then when you use it, they act betrayed. Like, whoa. During heat? Come on. What are you thinking? And this summer was hot in a way that felt personal. Hell, even our cousins in jolly old England bitching and complaining, hotter than they've ever been in years. It's not just hot. It feels legally aggressive. You walk outside and immediately understand why old civilizations invented the sun gods. Your dog would look at you like, we shouldn't be here. Your seatbelt brands you like cattle, searing your palm as you scream, "Ah!" Every steering wheel has become a hibachi grill. And your house wasn't a home. Your house feels like a locker room in Friday Night Football. The AC was trying, God bless it. That little unit was in the wall making noises like a haunted fax machine, just wheezing, clicking, begging. You could hear it all night. Tell my children I love them. And somewhere in every house, there's always one person policing the thermostat. Usually it's dad. You know, maybe a roommate, sometimes a wife who has fully become the CFO of Oxygen. They stand near the thermostat like it's nuclear football. You walk by and touch it, and they materialize from the shadows. What are you doing? I'm hot. Open a window. It's 96 degrees. Then open it spiritually. Because in an American household, the thermostat's not just a device, it's a moral test. And if you lower it below 72, someone in the house starts talking about blood sacrifices. But this year, the bill felt different. This year, the bill didn't just say, you use too much. It said, you're in an auction now. Because you aren't just paying to cool your home anymore, folks. You're competing against warehouses, against servers, against AI, against the cloud. And I hate the cloud, not actual clouds. Actual clouds are lovely. Actual clouds mind their business. They float around, occasionally look like a turtle. Maybe you ruin a wedding photo. Fine. The tech cloud is different. The tech cloud is a lie with a logo. The cloud sounds gentle, soft, friendly. A magical cotton place where your photos live. No. The cloud is not in the sky. The cloud is in a giant windowless building in a town whose mayor just got promised 1,100 jobs and a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The cloud is not weightless. The cloud is heavy. The cloud has fans. The cloud has cooling systems and security guards. It has a carbon footprint and a tax abatement. The cloud is a warehouse full of computers sweating like a youth pastor at a polygraph. And now, increasingly, the cloud wants your electricity. So welcome to the show. One of the main points on tonight's episode is about power. Literal power. Political power, computing power, attention power, and the power institutions have to make every problem they create somehow become your responsibility. Every story this week is about institutions losing the ability to be normal. And the object of the week is this: the electric bill, a monthly document that looks at your family and says, comfort was fun. Now pay me with the blood of your firstborn. Right now, it seems like, just like a lot of things in our economy, electricity has become a luxury. That's the whole thing. That's the thesis I have. For years, privacy was the expensive thing. Rich people had privacy. They had gates, private schools, private clubs, doctors, private islands, jets, security, private entrances, exits, chefs, scandals. And we know all about that. That sounds familiar, just saying all that. If a rich person sneezed, 4 lawyers and a lighting designer appeared. Meanwhile, regular people had a Ring camera pointed at their front door, their neighbor's front door, half the sidewalk, maybe a bird bath, and one guy walking his dog, who now appears in 15 neighborhood Facebook investigations a week. No. Our privacy, poor privacy, is your boss can see when you open Slack, your phone knows when you're depressed, and your refrigerator has terms of service. But now privacy isn't the only luxury. Now electricity is becoming a luxury. And that sounds insane because electricity is supposed to be basic. It's a utility. It's not caviar. It's not a yacht. Electricity is not a weird plastic covered couch in a room nobody sits in like at Gam Gams. Electricity is the stuff that keeps your food cold. Your grandma's oxygen machine running so she can wheeze out another year or two of her miserable life. But in the new economy, basic things become premium things. Housing became premium shelter. Healthcare became premium survival. Education became premium permission. Food became premium calories. And now electricity is becoming premium weather control. Soon, utility companies are going to have subscription tiers, kind of like Netflix and every other goddamn thing on the planet. Just imagine it. This is the sign-up sheet you get when you apply for your electricity service. Basic plan, 1 lamp. Refrigerator runs every other day. Microwave has ads. Premium plan, full AC, but only in non-peak hours. Oven access. Children can charge devices. Elite plan. Heat in the winter. Cool in the summer. A representative will answer the phone and explain your bill in English. Family Max Plus. Unlimited ceiling fans. One emergency toaster use. Priority during the apocalypse. And all of this is happening while the richest companies in human history are building massive AI data centers everywhere. Because AI needs power. So much power. It needs power to train, power to run, power to cool, power to answer questions no one needed answered. Somewhere right now, a server is gulping electricity so a dipshit named Trevor can ask AI, "What if Garfield was in Succession?" And the grid has to take that seriously. That's the humiliation. The power grid was built for homes, schools, hospitals, factories. Now it has to support 50 million people asking machines to make fake movie posters where Shrek is the Pope, or their favorite movie star sucks a huge meaty cock. And tech companies keep saying AI will solve everything. Oh, it'll solve medicine. It will help solve and make education better. It'll solve climate change. That's bold, because right now it's mostly helping people write emails they were already going to ignore. The AI industry has one incredible trick, though. It takes physical problems and makes them look digital. It hides the mess. You see a clean interface, a text box, a sparkle icon, a blinking cursor. It feels weightless, but behind it is infrastructure. Land, water, power, labor, metal, heat, noise, contracts, lobbyists, permits, subsidies. Everything they promised that it's not. The internet was sold to us as freedom. No walls, no borders, no friction, no limits. That was never true, really. The internet always had a body. The body was just hidden behind cute language. Cloud, stream, feed, like, share. Everything has a soft word. Because if they used honest words, no one would have signed up. Imagine if Instagram had launched as, "Welcome to the insecurity furnace." Or if TikTok was called Chinese slot machine for your neck. Or if the cloud was called a tax-advantaged warehouse that turns your memories into utility demand. People might have asked questions. But the cloud sounds like a Pixar character, so nobody thinks about it. You upload 12,000 photos of your mini meals with your spouse or significant other, all the stupid pictures of your kids and all the bullshit in your life. The cloud has them, though. Where? Don't worry about it. Cloud. Backup on your phone? Cloud. Save your documents? The cloud. Your ex still has access to your Netflix? Cloud. Your kid's school app has 19 permissions and a logo that looks like a sad owl? Cloud. Everything went to the cloud. And now the cloud has come back down to earth and it's asking for a substation. Let me tell you a story. This is definitely not true, but it's a true story. You know, mostly. There's a town. We'll just call it Millstone Falls. Beautiful place. One diner, a main street, 2 churches, 3 vape shops, a high school football team that hasn't won since the Bush administration, but still gets a police escort. The mayor is a man named Dale. Now, Dale wears short-sleeved dress shirts and says economic development like he's casting a spell. One day, a tech company comes to Millstone Falls. They say, "Hey, Dale, we want to build a data center." And Dale, he hears the sound of angels. Because every mayor in small town America, especially, has the same fantasy. Some company rolls in and says, "We're bringing jobs." That phrase could get a raccoon elected governor. We're bringing jobs. The whole town loses its mind. They hold a public meeting in the high school gym. There are folding chairs, bad coffee, a PowerPoint. A man from the company named Bryson stands up. Bryson has the face of a man who uses circle back during sex. Brian says, "This data center will put Millstone Falls on the map." The town claps. Nobody asks which map. Then Bryson says, "We're anticipating creating at least 1,000 permanent jobs." 1,000 jobs! Oh my God. The room still claps because numbers stop mattering when a man in fleece vest says, "Innovation." Then someone asks, "How much electricity will this use?" But Bryson just smiles. And when a corporate man smiles before answering a question, it means a soul has just been exploded into the depths of hell. He says, Oh, the facility will require a robust energy partnership. That means your grid is lunch. Someone else asks, "Will this affect our bills?" But Bryson just says, "We don't anticipate direct consumer impact." That sentence should be illegal. That sentence is corporate chloroform. "We do not anticipate direct consumer impact" means you will be poor in a way our lawyers can technically not describe. But the town approves it. Yeah! Woo! They give the company a tax break. They build the data center. There's a ribbon cutting. Mayor Dale gets a hard hat with no dirt on it. Bryson holds out oversized scissors for him. The local newspaper runs the headline, "Millstone Falls enters the future." But then the future starts humming. Literally, a low, screaming, mechanical hum. All day, all night. Slowly the town changes. The diner has a new menu, though, with an item called the Algorithm Burger. It's $19, but it's fucking delicious. The high school mascot changes from the Eagles to the Servers. The town's slogan becomes Millstone Falls. Just don't drink the water. Then the electric bills arrive. People start seeing charges they've never seen before. Regional load balancing. Future readiness rider. Strategic megawatt adjustment. Bryson fee. Nobody really knows what the hell it means. Old ladies start unplugging lamps. Families eat dinner in the dark. One guy turns off his freezer and starts salting meat like it's 1840. Meanwhile, inside the data center, a machine is using more energy than a hospital to generate an image of a golden retriever dressed as Tony Soprano fucking a tomato. That's America, baby! Grandma's sweating in the dark so a startup can make fake dogs and tracksuits. And every institution involved says, oh yeah, this is progress. No. Progress used to mean bridges. It used to mean vaccines. Real ones, I might add. Public schools. Clean water. Now progress means your town gets colonized by a server farm. So a man in San Francisco can ask an AI to write a rap battle between Abraham Lincoln and Hello Kitty. Now, that's what makes AI data centers such a perfect episode 1 villain. They're not evil in a cartoon way. They're worse. They're boring evil. Spreadsheet evil. Permit evil. Economic development evil. The kind of evil that wears a company polo and says, we're excited to partner with the community. No one ever says, we're excited to partner with the community. Unless the community is about to get absolutely folded and bent over a desk. And the weirdest part is AI is being marketed as inevitable. That's how these tech gurus get away with these things. They don't ask, would you like this? No. This is happening. That's what they say. That's not innovation. They're talking about AI like it's a storm system. AI is coming. AI will transform everything. AI is reshaping the economy. Okay. Why does it have a sales team? If something is inevitable, you don't need 400 lobbyists and a Super Bowl ad. Gravity never had a brand activation. Fire didn't launch a premium tier. But AI needs branding because the promise is enormous and the current product is weirdly stupid. We're told this is the slow start of the birth of superintelligence. Then you use it and it tells you there are 9 R's in strawberry. Or it invents a Supreme Court case called Vibes versus America. The machine can generate code. Yeah, it can summarize documents, imitate people, write lyrics, diagnose patterns, and also it'll confidently tell you to glue cheese to pizza. It's not a god. It's a very expensive intern with no fear of consequences. And yet we are rearranging the physical world around it. Power grids, our campuses, our water systems, land use, education, labor, media, government. All for a technology that half the time is basically, what if autocomplete had venture capital and no shame? And moving on, while the machine needs your power, they also need your children's attention. Brings us to New Zealand. New Zealand is one of the many countries with proposed bans for kids under 16, banning them from social media. And I understand the instinct. I really do. I have kids. If you've ever seen a middle schooler use a phone, you immediately understand why governments start drafting these laws. I know I do. A child on social media looks like a Victorian orphan trapped in a casino. They're pale, twitchy. They know too much. They have opinions about skincare ingredients and Middle East politics, but they can't load a fucking dishwasher or figure out how to mow the lawn. Kids today have access to everything, but context for nothing. It's a brutal combination. A 13-year-old can watch war footage, a makeup tutorial, financial advice, conspiracy theories, a thirst trap, and a woman crying in a car in the span of 6 minutes. Then we expect them to sit in algebra and solve for X. X is trauma now. So yes, ban it. I support it. Take the phone, throw it in the sea. Take a hammer to the fucker. Let the children rediscover boredom. That sounds silly, but boredom is important. Boredom is where personality comes from. Every interesting adult was once a bored child, making potions out of shampoo, building forts out of their couch cushions, using their imagination. That helped build culture in childhoods. That's human development. You need to spend some years, in my opinion, with nothing to do except stare at a ceiling fan for a few hours and slowly become strange. You know, jerk off using your imagination. Remember that? But social media murdered boredom. Now every empty second gets filled. You're on the elevator, phone. Taking a shit, gotta have my phone. Red light, phone. Funeral, phone, but respectively, of course. No human being gets to be alone with a thought anymore. And kids are growing up without skills people used to take for granted. Waiting and patience. Wondering, staring out a window, making up a game with a stick, hating your cousin quietly, experiencing shame without uploading it. So again, I understand New Zealand saying no social media under 16, but here's the problem. How? How do you do it? How do you really do it? To prove a kid is under 16, everyone else has to prove they're over 16. So the cure for children is adults handing over more private information. It's such a perfect modern solution. We're worried tech companies know too much about kids. Therefore, please upload your face, birthday, ID, greatest fears, please and thank you. And the tech companies will pretend to resist. They'll say, we care deeply about user privacy. No, you do not. You have a map of my thumb. You know what I almost bought at 2:13 in the morning. You know I paused too long on a video of a man restoring a rusty knife. Don't suddenly become the ACLU because your parliament asked you to check birthdays. Platforms don't hate collecting data. It's free money for them. What they hate is being responsible for the consequences of collecting the data after the fact. That's the difference. And kids will beat this immediately. Every adult policy assumes children are honest morons. They aren't. Mostly. Children are tiny pirates with math homework, okay? A 14-year-old can't remember to bring a pencil, but he can bypass a school firewall like he trained at Langley, especially since half our kids are autistic these days. You can ban social media. The kids will be on TikTok through a fucking calculator. They'll be watching Reels through a smart fridge. They'll have a Discord server named AP World History Notes, where everyone is really trading memes, vape roots, and emotional damage. Here's another story for you. Mostly true, of course. I would never lie. There's a kid in Wellington named Oliver. He's 14. The ban goes into effect. His parents sit him down. They say, Oliver, we're sorry. No more social media till you're 16. Oliver nods. Very mature. Respectful even. That night, Oliver builds a VPN out of a graphing calculator, a vape charger, and pure spite. By breakfast, he has created a new app called Definitely Algebra. The icon is a little textbook. Parents love it. Teachers love it. Politicians point to it as proof kids are studying again. But when you open it and solve for X, it unlocks an entire underground social network. TikTok dances, illegal memes, crypto scams, teenage gossip. A marketplace where kids trade fake IDs, Roblox skins, and screenshots of their parents arguing. Within 3 weeks, Definitely Algebra has 4 million users. The government launches an investigation. A minister goes on TV and says, we couldn't have anticipated the children would lie. That's one of the funnier government sentences. We could not have anticipated that children would lie. Children are lying machines. Don't you remember being a kid? A kid will hold an empty chocolate bar, chocolate on his face, and say, I don't know what happened. That's their whole job when they're a kid. And this is why social media ban connects to AI data centers in particular. Because both stories are about institutions trying to control something after they already let it become infrastructure. Social media is not just an app anymore. It's children's infrastructure. It's dating infrastructure. It's our news infrastructure. Comedy, bowling, political, loneliness infrastructures. It's how people flirt, fight, sell, grieve, stalk, perform, radicalize, apologize, and ruin Thanksgiving. And now governments are looking around like, hey, maybe kids shouldn't be in this casino. Correct. But you built the casino into the school bus. It might be a little late, folks. A little late. One of the other things I've seen pop up really popular, especially in this last week or two, is the good old trial of Lindsay Clancy. Now, Lindsay Clancy, of course, is on trial for the supposed murder. Alleged murder, to be clear. I want to be very clear, alleged. She allegedly murdered her 3 kids. And I want to be very clear on another aspect. The deaths of children are not funny. The victims are not punchlines. Postpartum mental illness is definitely real and serious. But the public spectacle around this case, oh shit, that's fair game. Because once people started turning tragedy into fandom, the culture deserves to be put in a wood chipper. There are countless supporters and people online posting, showing up in pink, signs, slogans, a whole moral support aesthetic. And I'm sorry, but when a criminal case involving dead children starts developing a color palette, society has left the road. That's real sickness. America cannot process tragedy without turning it into identity merchandise. Everything becomes a team, a side, a brand, a hashtag, a ribbon, a shirt. Facebook groups with 40,000 women on just as many SRIs as the accused. Now, this isn't just about women. Men do this too. Men will defend an athlete, a comedian, politician, podcasters, a guy they met once at a cigar lounge, anyone who makes them feel like their worldview is still intact. Partisans do it. Fans do it. Religious communities do it. Political tribes do it. Every group has someone they refuse to process honestly. Because once a person becomes symbolic, the facts go down the fucking toilet. This is where true crime culture gets disgusting. Not because people are interested in crime. People have always been interested in crime. Humans are nosy little goblins. We just can't help ourselves. We're animals still. That's not new. The new thing is the merger of crime. Fandom, therapy, language, identity, politics, and merch. People don't just follow cases anymore. They enter it. They narrate it. They cosplay moral authority around it. They say, as a mother, as a woman, as someone with anxiety, as someone who understands trauma. Sometimes these perspectives matter, but a lot of times they're full of shit, blowing smoke up your ass. Because the reality is a courtroom is not supposed to be a place where everyone platforms their personal wounds. A courtroom is supposed to deal with facts, evidence, responsibility, mental states, the law, victims, all that justice, blah, blah, blah. What the hell is happening? But online culture hates that. Online culture wants one clean role for every person. Victim, monster, hero, martyr, icon, villain. There's no category or subtle nuance for this is horrifying, complicated, medically serious, legally consequential, and morally unbearable. That's too long for a t-shirt. So people simplify. They sand the edges off. They turn children into context. They turn grief into branding. They turn the accused into a symbol. And suddenly support becomes automatic, not thoughtful, not conditional, not sober, automatic. That's dangerous, folks. Because compassion without moral clarity becomes like a fog machine. Fills the room. Makes everything blurry. And then you have people start saying things that sound humane but function like erasure. She was suffering. Yeah, maybe. She needed help. Maybe. The system failed her. Maybe. Maybe. But none of those sentences can be allowed to swallow the victims. Two things can be true. That's what adult morality requires. A person can be mentally ill. A person can deserve a fair trial. A person can have failed. And something unspeakably horrific can still have happened to innocent children. That's not political correctness. That's having a goddamn spine. And the satire here is aimed at the crowd, the culture, the machine that takes every tragedy and asks, how do I make this about my identity? That's currently one of the most American things you can do. A horror happens and immediately people begin looking for the mirror. Not the facts, not the victims, the mirror. What does this say about me? And that's why this belongs in this episode today. Because the same institutional decay is everywhere. Tech companies can't be normal about data. Governments can't be normal about our children. Universities can't be normal about fraternities. Public can't be normal about tragedy. Everybody has turned into a brand manager for their own emotional bias. Now, I know what we've mostly been talking about so far is a little dark and doom and gloom. I apologize. Unfortunately, a lot of what's going on and what's most popular is dark in a lot of ways. I guess we'll hit a lightning round before I get told to go to a therapist again myself. Apparently, an NFL player is trying to go back to college football. It's incredible. Because the entire history of college sports was adults screaming, "These are amateurs." Then NIL, which for the folks that don't know, the case of name, image, and likeness happened. Our college players could finally start making money. And now professional athletes are looking at college and going, "Hey bro, hold up. They have money over there too?" College football has become so professional that professionals are trying to become amateurs again. I love it. America! The NCAA spent 100 years building a system so complicated, even Satan himself would say, this feels a little overregulated. Now judges are looking at eligibility rules like, honestly, just let the linebacker take intro to public speaking again. Fuck it. College used to be where you went before the pros. Now it might be where you go after the pros, or in between. Screw it. It's not a pipeline. It's a washing machine. In other ridiculous viral news, everyone's favorite Nordic Viking football player, Erling Haaland, got a buzz cut. This is international news, of course, because Haaland's hair was part of the mythology. Long-haired Haaland looked like a Viking raised in a laboratory by Red Bull. God, I love Red Bull. Buzzcut Haaland looks like he manages security at an Icelandic nightclub where the password is protein. Long-hair Haaland pillaged villages. Buzzhair Haaland repossesses them. Long-hair Haaland looked like Thor. But Buzzcut Haaland looks like Thor's cousin, who sells commercial real estate. And honestly, though, I like it. The man scored so many goals, he unlocked character customization. He's not a football player anymore, he is DLC. And that's goddamn brilliant. Can't knock that. Then we have New Lie. I don't really fully know how to describe it myself, but it looks like someone fed a cow a children's cartoon, a propaganda poster, and a fever dream into a blender and then asked the blender to explain capitalism. Now everyone loves New Lie because the internet loves anything that feels like it escaped from a government basement. That's where we are culturally. A normal movie comes out, no one cares. A strange, low-budget cow animation appears, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is cinema. I love it." I guess people are tired of polished content or the 25th Marvel movie in a decade. They want weird. They want broken. I can get down with that. I do too sometimes. They want something that looks like it was made by 11 people, 3 goats, and a laptop made with a cracked screen. Then, honestly, good. At least it feels human. AI might be able to generate a fake movie poster. Hollywood can produce a $250 million content smoothie. But New Lie looks like the kind of thing that happens when a civilization gets weird enough to tell the truth by accident. At least it's refreshing. And we're heading into our closing thoughts here. What did we learn today? What did I learn? Reading the news and going through all this swill so you don't have to. Well, we learned our electric bill is no longer just a bill. It's a prophecy. It tells you where our future's heading. The future's going into a warehouse. The machines need your power, folks. The platforms need your children's attention. The universities need plausible deniability. The courts need seriousness. The public needs a detox from turning every tragedy into a personal brand exercise. The NCAA needs an exorcist. Holland probably needs some sunscreen for his white-ass scalp. And New Lie might be the only honest movie right now out. Every story, though, this week is about institutions losing the ability to be normal. The cloud just can't store files. It has to eat the grid. Social media just can't connect people anymore. It has to colonize your childhood. It has to keep you engaged. College can't just educate young adults. We can't just observe a trial. It has to pick merchandising colors, and women have to make it all about themselves and the struggle. Sports can't just have eligibility. It has to become a legal escape room. Haircuts can't just be haircuts. They have to become global character updates. That's the world now. Everything is infrastructure. Everything is content. Everything is a platform, a market, a brand. Everything is someone else's externality. And somehow, after all of that, the bill comes to you. That's the joke. The cloud wants power. The platforms want attention. The institutions want cover. The public wants a team. And you get the electric bill. So yes, electricity is a luxury now. And normalcy is now a discontinued feature. Good night, folks. Turn off the light. A chat bot somewhere needs it. I thank you for stopping by. I'm new to all this. Hope to continue it, make it a hobby of mine. Like and subscribe if you like. Plan on doing one of these at least once a week. We'll see how it goes. Adios, folks.